And we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another English with Football YouTube live show. This is a show that takes place every Monday at 8 p.m. Central European Time. And this is a live show, and it's a hybrid between a chat show about football. We just talk about football with a few people here, mainly the Premier League. And also, it's an English lesson. So it's like those two things together, those two things combined. So today's guests are Nrup. Hi, Nrup. How are you today?
Yo, I'm great. I'm great. It's been a good day so far. Great weekend.
Glad to hear that. And we also have Stephen, first time ever. Hi, Stephen.
Hello. Hey, how you doing?
All good, all good. So I guess I'm going to give you a chance to introduce yourself, Stephen, since this is your first time. So would you mind telling us about yourself?
Okay.
What you do?
Okay, so my name's Stephen Green. I come from Birmingham in England. I've been teaching English for about 25 years, more or less. And nowadays I live in Curitiba in the south of Brazil.
Cool. So we have got another English teacher here, and we might have one more joining us soon. And so thanks for coming on. And this is a football show, so we're just going to talk about football. And
That's
also,
good.
occasionally we might explain a few words here and there and stuff like that. It's like a combination of a lesson, as I said in the introduction, combination of a lesson and just a chat about football. So what's your team, Stephen? What team do you support?
My team is Birmingham City. We're in the Championship, the old second division. We've been there for the last 10 years, flirted with relegation quite a few times. Hopefully this year we'll be mid-table mediocrity. We won't be going up, we won't be going down.
I see.
I also have a team in Brazil called Atlético Paranaense, and they're doing much better than Birmingham City. So that's some success for once in my life.
Right. I like this expression, we flirted with relegation. I'm going to show it on screen. I really like it a lot. So first of all, what's relegation? Well, Nrup, maybe, would you mind telling us what relegation is? I'm not testing your knowledge or anything, but I just want you to get involved a bit here. So
Definitely. To me, relegation is something that is you go one level below something. So in terms of football, when you're relegated, that means in football you have different divisions. That is more or less a class or like a stage. So you just go one stage below, and over there you just play more easier level of football compared to the higher level.
Yeah,
that's it.
The thing is, like, this is a nice expression. First, we had to explain the word relegation. Now, we flirted with relegation. Obviously, normally you flirt with girls, or if you are a girl, you flirt with boys, normally. But here, we flirted with relegation. The Birmingham City team flirted with relegation. So does it mean that they... How do we explain that? Stephen, go ahead. You said it, so...
Okay, so if you're flirting with someone, normally it's the idea of a romantic thing. You're flirting. It's just talk. Nothing actually happens. You don't kiss the person. You don't go home with the person. It's just talking, enjoying yourself, having a good time with this. So if you're flirting with relegation, you get very close to relegation, but you don't actually get relegated. And that's happened to us. I think 4 of the last 5 years, on the last day of the season, there was the potential for us to go down. But somehow we always managed to, with a goal in the last minute or something, we managed to stay up. So we just flirted with relegation. We didn't actually get relegated.
That's quite funny you should say this, because Nrup is an Arsenal fan. And didn't we kind of flirt with relegation at the beginning of this season, Nrup?
I would say unfortunately we were, but the circumstances were different. Yes, we were flirting with the relegation, but that's what Premier League is about. You experience everything. So
the thing is, you could say it was just the beginning of the season, but it kind of like the papers were talking about us already, and obviously fans are making fun of us, fans of other teams. So
Yeah, especially Tottenham, right? I wonder how
Especially
that aged
Tottenham.
well.
Yeah, not now, not anymore. Not after the weekend.
It aged like Burchak.
Absolutely. That's exactly what we are going to be talking here about. First things first, what were your two highlights of this weekend, of this round, of this Premiership round? Let's start with Stephen.
uh, my highlight was the Man City Chelsea game. Uh, it was really high quality football from Man City and suffocating football. I was expecting a lot more from Chelsea, but they just didn't have any chance to even breathe. Man City just covered them, and I thought it was great football. I know there wasn't a lot of goals. There's just the one goal, but Man City were just so much more superior to Chelsea.
Did you see the whole match?
I missed the first 10, 15 minutes, but I watched it after that. Yeah. It's fascinating to see a team like Man City just totally dominating and controlling another really good team.
I agree. Although I would say that they were doing relatively okay. Chelsea, well, this is kind of expected. I mean, they always play out from the back, City, and they always try to do this. You even use this expression, suffocating football, which I like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when you suffocate, you basically don't have enough oxygen. You can't breathe. Yeah, you are unable to breathe. So maybe if there's a fire and you're in the room and you suffocate, you might not even like burn to death first. Before that happens, you suffocate.
Yeah.
I like how you use this as a metaphor to describe the kind of football Man City play sometimes, right?
Totally. Yeah.
Uh,
Would you agree with this, Noop? Would you agree with this assessment that this is how City play?
Definitely. City were having their own class. Chelsea, I don't know why they were poor. Tactically, something might have gone wrong. But yeah, City were up there and they finally got the first blood. Yep, against Chelsea. And I'm glad.
Yeah,
Actually, it was a great day to be a citizen because City won against Chelsea. Man United lost. And they lost shamelessly.
so all the results kind of went Man City way, we could say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It was
So
just
yeah,
1-0, but it was enough. And I agree with Stephen that it was, I would say it was a dominant victory over Chelsea.
But then that's the problem that Man City have, that they've got this suffocating football, but they so far this season, it's different to previous seasons. They just haven't got the goals.
That
You
is
know,
true.
they should have won 2-3-4-0 against Chelsea. And when they're not scoring goals like they have previously, always leaves them open to a break or a lucky shot or something like this. And that's what's happened so far this season.
Absolutely. Do you remember the match before this one? The one that they played before this one? Didn't they draw it? Wasn't it a draw against Southampton or something?
Southampton.
Yeah. Southampton can't buy a win, but they managed to get a draw against Man City.
Exactly. That's it. Yeah. So it looks like that if they don't score goals, they could struggle potentially. But the style of football, it's just so hard to play against. Noop, do you remember that match Arsenal played? Noop, do you remember
Against
the match
City.
Arsenal played against City?
It
Do you remember
was
the possession? Do you remember the
shambolic.
possession we had?
Everything
We
was
had like
shambles.
17% of possession or something.
Yeah.
17.
Yeah, it was something else. It was something else.
I
Let's
can't
not talk
remember,
about that.
18 or
Yeah, I know.
something. That was like
That's crazy.
A record. Like nobody had ever done that before.
Yep.
I mean, first half was like 10% or something. Well,
And it's not like Arsenal are part-timers or something. You know, they're one of the best teams in the world, and they still can't get the ball against Man City. Yeah, no, the money they've got, the resources they've got, is almost obscene. They've got 2 or 3. Even their third team would avoid relegation. It's they've got so many good players.
I'm not sure if you're being sarcastic, Stephen, but it's part of the show. When you said we are the best team, one of the best teams in the world, not anymore. Like in my humble opinion, yes, I agree in terms of the resources, absolutely. In terms of history and the fan base and all that. But to be honest, like when have we won anything major in the last few years?
Yeah. No, I get that. But teams go through ups and downs. Arsenal were just unfortunate that when you built your new stadium, by the time you'd finished, football had changed, and we had oligarchs buying Chelsea and sheikhs buying Man City. You can't compete with that. Nobody can compete with that. Not if you're going to produce the money yourself. Nobody can compete with that type of football.
Yeah, exactly. Where do you stand on this, Noop? Do you think we can ever reach the same heights as Man City, Chelsea, these teams? Can we really?
I think if you look at current condition, I don't think so. But the way how Arteta has started his so-called process, I think if you look at a bigger picture, yes, we are contenders. The thing is, we need a base. We need this firm base that Chelsea doesn't have, that City doesn't have. The thing is, Chelsea and City, they create this temporary base and then they just go for those trophies and stuff. So that's why Chelsea is not great for its tradition, for its club, and they don't have a heritage. They do have the material stuff, but I think football is not about trophies and stuff. Otherwise, you have players like Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo. Then you have players like Totti and Alan Shearer, who have been great players, but have they won any major trophies? There'll always be something criticizing them. So I think football is more about heritage and the ideology. And I think Arsenal, they are up there. They will soon. Give it a time, 10 years, 20 years, but it will be up there.
If we had Marvin here, I think he would be, he wouldn't be happy about what we have just said. Yes, we are basically suggesting that teams like Chelsea don't have history. What I would say, just to sort of defend him and his team, even though I don't know why I'm even doing that because I'm an Arsenal fan. But I think they are creating their new history. Like this is their modern history now, right? The last few years, the Champions League win, that will not be forgotten easily, right? So this is their new history, new legacy.
Yeah, but for me, it's more about heritage. So I don't think.
Okay, but to be fair, Chelsea have a long heritage. They didn't just start when Abramovich bought them. They were a good team in the 50s. They've been around for a long time. They had highs and lows, but that used to happen with clubs. You'd be around for 2 or 3 years. They have a very strong support base in London. I'm not a Chelsea fan. I can't stand Chelsea, but they do have a heritage there. Stamford Bridge is a famous old ground. At least they're still playing in their famous old ground. They didn't go off and build a plastic stadium with no atmosphere like Arsenal did, because there's no heritage in that stadium.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Ever since we left Highbury, yes, things have been going upside down. I don't know. Maybe we didn't follow the feng shui, but whatever.
This is just what football fans say. Like they even sing this chant, "Shit club, no history," right? Shit club, no history. Shit club, or something like that. So we will always find a way, to sort of insult the opposition team. So
totally. Yeah.
But
you had no choice. You had to leave Highbury because it was too small. You couldn't make it any bigger. You had no choice. I just think that the design of the stadium is not conducive to modern English football, where you want people as close to the ground as you can get, create that atmosphere, create that intimidation of the opposition players. That's what you had at Highbury.
Yeah, well, it's the same with West Ham, for example. Yeah, they
totally.
Now play,
yeah.
It's exactly the same because they now play at the Olympic Stadium, and it's just, I think there's the athletic, what do you call it? The track, right?
The track.
The athletic track, the oval. And so the sound is not the same as it was before. Anyway, I'm going to show this comment here. This is what Steven said. Arsenal were building a new stadium. By the time it finished, football had changed. I like this sentence a lot. Did you say it like that? I hope you did, Steven.
I think I said by the time it was finished.
Okay. Well,
but yeah, basically that's
it's the same.
You can, yeah.
Yeah. By the time it was finished, or by the time it finished, um, football had changed. So basically, what I like about this is the use of past perfect, which is a tense that we use to refer to time that happened before something else in the past. So it's like we're going even further down the past here. So basically, the main action is that it finished or it was finished, right? And then we want to refer back to something that happened before that. And Stephen is suggesting that actually they didn't even finish the stadium. They didn't even finish building the stadium, and football had already changed. So basically, they were not able to adapt. I always make a mistake there. Adapt to the new ways of football or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Nrup, what was your highlight of this weekend?
Well, the first was the shocking defeat of Man United under Ronaldo, and then second would be, I remember looking at the highlights of Brentford versus Liverpool. Now I should tell everyone who are laughing at Arsenal for losing 1-0 to Brentford, and that was Arsenal without, I don't know, 4 to 5 first team players. Look at them now. Who's talking? So you guys concede 3 goals
Absolutely,
against
because look at the Liverpool team.
Champions League winners. Yeah,
Look
they
at
have
the
Van
Liverpool. They're
Dijk.
such a good
They have
team.
prime players.
And
And then
how they started the season as well, right?
Yep.
The last week's show, we were talking about Chelsea being the top of the league, neck and neck with Liverpool, just on the goal difference. And now look at Brentford.
Yep.
They managed to clinch a draw.
I think this Premier League is giving me back to those Barclays days vibes. Like no team is on the top. There's a crazy competition, mid-table, bottom table, top table. So right after Brentford and Liverpool, you had to mention the North London derby. The derby was everything to me. I was very, very emotional. I was quite teary looking at how our club was performing and the way we played, the squad that we had. When I saw the first team news, no injuries, I was like, wow, yes.
That was a good sign already, I guess.
That was a very positive sign. And then also when I looked at the way how Tottenham were having their form, I was like, yes, this is our opportunity. Our rivals are performing terrible, and we are developing slowly. And then there we go. We have our best trio, Emil Smith-Rowe, Bukayo Saka, Odegaard, dancing around the defense, dancing around the team, creating, passing. That's it.
You're describing as if it was poetry or something. You're describing
it was a dream.
Yeah.
It was a dream.
Yeah, but a good team would have scored 5 or 6 goals.
Definitely. No, definitely I agree. Because we have Aubameyang, who is
Tottenham were terrible. Tottenham were really, really poor in that game, especially in the first half. Proved a bit in the second half, but in the first half, God, I haven't seen them play that badly for a long time. Arsenal were good. I'm not taking anything away, but Tottenham were bad. I think Spirito Santo, the manager, is not going to be there for long. I don't think.
No.
Seems like
no.
it.
Tottenham are exactly the kind of club that would fire their manager quickly, I think. So they're like a bit impetuous in that, I'd say. The same with Chelsea, I think. These clubs, they have really high expectations. And I mean, kudos to Arsenal, actually, that they still have Arteta, because in those clubs, you would have already been sacked.
Yep. Well, I mean, Spirito Santo, they never wanted him. They took 70 days to... They went through lots of other managers trying to get other people. They couldn't find anybody. He was like the last person left who would take the job. So no, there's no confidence there. Kane doesn't want to be there either. I'm
surprised he actually is in the team now, because it looked like he didn't want to go to the training sessions anymore. He didn't want to go to practice. So I guess he realized that he would be without football because contractually he's still obliged to Tottenham. So, he doesn't have a choice, does he?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Sorry, I just wanted to say, Noop said our rivals are performing terribly. So the word rivals, yeah. So when you are talking about a derby, it's usually a match between two teams from the same area, from the same geographical area, from the same city or something. And there's a lot of rivalry between these two teams. And a rival is the opposition team that you play against from the same area. Yeah. So a Birmingham. So let's give our viewers another example. So we've got a Birmingham City fan here. So who would be the biggest rivals of Birmingham City then?
The biggest rivals are Aston Villa, and the name of the derby when we play each other is the Second City Derby, because Birmingham is the second biggest city in Britain, so it's the Second City Derby. But there is another derby starting in about 25 minutes, I think, tonight. It's the M23 Derby, which is Crystal Palace against Brighton, which is a ridiculous derby because they're a long distance away from each other. They're like 70 kilometers, 80 kilometers away from each other, but they hate each other. They hate each other with a passion. And but I'm supporting Brighton because if they win, they go top of the table. I'd love to see Brighton at the top of the Premier League.
Yeah, well, let's hope they get off to a flyer. They are seagulls. See what?
Absolutely, against the Eagles. Very good. I like it. I see what you did. It's the Angry Bird Derby.
Yeah. All right. Exactly. So that's the word rivals. Well, what's happening? So your rivals, Aston Villa, in the Premiership, Stephen. Premiership, sorry. So what's happening there? How are you gonna change this round?
Just ignore them. They don't actually exist. Nah. You know, we had a couple of good games against Villa about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, maybe more now. Can't worry about them. Just focus on ourselves. You know, we're bad enough on our own. We don't need to worry about other people.
Yeah. Well, I remember the times when Birmingham were in the Premiership. Like, it wasn't that long ago. Was it like 15 years ago or earlier than that?
We got relegated 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
We won the League Cup against Arsenal, and then we got relegated in the same year, and that was it.
I vaguely remember this. Yeah, that was some.
I remember that like it was yesterday. It's the best moment of my footballing life.
Best and worst. So was it? So would you have changed the? Would you prefer saving yourself and not getting relegated to winning and not winning the League Cup, or is this better? What happened?
I'd take the League Cup any day. Actually, to win something, to come fourth from bottom of the Premier League, that gets boring very quickly. But to actually win a cup, you know, it's the first time in my life that's happened.
But it's also what followed after that. Like, you haven't managed to get back in, right?
Look, it's Birmingham City. That's we've always been like that. We have the record. I can't remember if it's Birmingham City or West Bromwich Albion have the record for the most number of promotions, which also means we have the record for the most number of relegations.
Right.
We're always like that. That's life as a Birmingham City fan. We're never going to be winning 10 Euro championships or anything like this. No, we just keep right on. Keep right on to the end of the road. That's our motto, our anthem is keep right on till the end of the road. And life is bad. Life is difficult. It's tired and weary, but you got to keep on going.
You're living on edge and you're enjoying it.
Well, I don't know about that, but we keep going.
Okay, there's a question from Julia, who's watching us live now. We could say they were neck and neck, I guess. Like, I would use it to talk about two teams. They're neck and neck. Wouldn't you use it, Stephen? I would use it.
In the terms of not in a game, you wouldn't use it, but
in terms of the table position, like I would use it like that.
You can say Chelsea and Liverpool are neck and neck. It comes from horse racing originally, but yeah, you can use it in any context. You can use it in politics. So we just had the German election over the weekend, and we could say that the two main parties are neck and neck because there's nothing separating them. Yeah,
exactly. It's a close contest.
Yeah, I would use it with a contest or a competition, not necessarily sport, but wherever you have a competitive element, you can use it.
Exactly. Nice one. Okay, so what else should we talk about here? Maybe it's a surprise we didn't get Marvin today. He was supposed to be on as well to tell us about Chelsea. I guess he's embarrassed after that match against City. But I thought I watched that match. That was the first match I watched that weekend, right? It was the first match, and I was quite. It was quite enjoyable. I thought they were doing all right, Chelsea, in the first half. I thought they were okay because it was part of the tactic. You can't really open the play, like you can't open up too much, right? Against City, you just can't.
No.
But I think there was always this threat of Lukaku, up front.
He didn't really do much though, did he?
No.
He lost the ball quite a few times. He seemed very frustrated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So.
But this player, their defender, Chelsea defender Rudiger, he's in great form in my opinion. Like he's doing quite well. Scored the goal in the previous match, and I thought he played quite well as well.
No, they have good players, They're always going to play well. Just they just couldn't get out.
Exactly.
But they couldn't get the ball and pass it for more than 1 minute before they lost the ball.
Exactly. And then there was the Manchester United game as well. So that one was a surprise to me as well. What happened there? Was it against Aston Villa or?
Aston Villa.
Yeah.
So that match. That was played exactly at the same moment as the Chelsea game. So I couldn't watch that one because it was happening simultaneously. But what happened there? There was like a first Aston Villa scored the first goal. That was massive, and then there was a penalty in the dying minutes of the match. Did you see that, guys? Nook, did you see that?
Yeah, actually, I saw that. That was another epic moment for an Arsenal fan because it was coming from Emiliano Martinez, our ex-goalkeeper, and I loved the so-called shithousery that he did. Classic Premier League shithousery. I loved it. So he was playing mind games. He was saying that, Ronaldo should take the penalty. He deserves that, not Bruno. And then, he played some mind games, and then Bruno, he got really nervous, and then he blew off. The ball went to the space, and later he celebrated in front of the fans. Emiliano Martinez celebrated in front of the fans. Classic Premier League shithousery. I loved it.
Yeah, it was quite unreal, wasn't it? Like how well I didn't know this had happened until I saw some memes online, going around. But apparently, everybody, the whole football world was wondering what's going to happen when Ronaldo joins United, or what? Like, is Bruno Fernandes arguably the best Manchester United player, the one that takes all free kicks or penalties? The question was whether he would keep the penalties, because in the Portuguese international team, in the Portuguese national team, it's Ronaldo who takes the penalties. So everybody was asking, would the same be happening in Manchester United? Even like I play this game called Fantasy Premier League, FPL. You might be familiar with that, and it was the same question there, because you always want to captain the player who is on penalties, so that you can get more points. And so it was Bruno Fernandes who took the penalty, but apparently before that, Martinez, as Noop said, he went up to the penalty point and sort of like pointed at Ronaldo, or even talked to him, right, or something.
He was sledging, yeah.
He was playing mind games. He was trying to distract him, to throw him off. And I think he managed to do that to Bruno Fernandes, because did you see, Stephen, did you see how he kicked the ball? Did you see what
I haven't seen
there?
it, actually. No, I haven't seen it. I just saw the result. I had a busy weekend, just a few games. I haven't seen any of the highlights of anything else.
You're English, yeah, Stephen? So you guys play
That's
rugby?
right.
You play rugby, yeah? So
I played it a couple of times at school, yeah.
it might have been some points in rugby, possibly, but
Okay, right. Okay.
it
3
was
points. It was high, wide, and handsome.
it went into like row 15 or something, maybe.
Okay, it's gone into orbit.
Yeah, it was like so. I was like, whoa, where is this going? It's funny to watch. There's a YouTube channel 44 Tunes. It's like animated, fun animated.
Yeah, I know it.
You know
Yeah.
it, yeah.
My son,
Tunes.
I have my son keeps showing me stuff from it. Yeah.
I think it's like it's spelled like this, and just watch that one, because yeah, they're making fun of that incident there. I think.
I'm sure.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Okay, is there anything else, guys, we should cover regarding this week in terms of football?
Well, there's Leeds who are. I'm surprised that Leeds are doing so badly. With their football 100 miles an hour, but they still can't get a win.
I saw that match actually. I
didn't see it, but they were saying it was like watching basketball. It was just like one end to the other end and one end to the other end. I love watching Leeds. They're a great team to watch. Thankfully, I don't support them because they'd give me a heart attack. But
well,
exciting
last season
stuff.
they were really great. Yeah, last season they were fantastic. Marcel Bielsa was always like praised by the media, and like even neutral football fans loved the way they play because it's exciting to watch. Like if it's not your team, at least what you want to see is good football.
Totally.
So to be honest, like after the first half of the West Ham Leeds match, I did say in the previous show that I sort of secretly fancy West Ham. Yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan, but I also fancy West Ham now because there are a few Czech players there, and they were all over them. And then in like West Ham were terrible, but then the classic thing, like in the changing room, the manager has a word with the players. I think that's what David Moyes did. And then a completely different team went on the pitch, and they managed to turn it around. Some people would almost say that it was undeserved. I mean, they did. To be honest, it was an even game. If you look at the number of chances, it was kind of an even game. But it was surprising the way they managed to turn it around. But it was. It was deserved for the effort because there was like so much effort from West Ham, like running all over the place. It just turned them around, you know.
It's a second season syndrome for Leeds.
Yep,
I agree. Yep.
Right, the last thing we can do here, unless there are some questions from our viewers who are watching this live, because you can always ask us questions. I'm just gonna share my screen with you guys to show you the table. Just give me a second. All right, here we go. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Here's the table. Here's the table. And so this is funny. So look, Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester, they all lost points. So the one team that benefited from this were Man City, of course.
And maybe Brighton.
Brighton as well, but it's going to be difficult for them because now they have the derby, then they have Crystal Palace who's battling relegation, so you never know.
Are you guys going to watch the game?
No, unfortunately, I've got classes. No.
But I'll be watching Brighton because Brighton face Arsenal next week.
Right. The thing is, look at the table. If they win, they're going to be top of the league.
Yeah. I have a soft spot for Brighton. I do like the club. You know, it's not a big club, but they're well managed, got a plan, sticking to their plan. Yeah. They're never going to be fantastic. And who knows, next year they'll get relegated. But at the moment, they're doing all right.
What's happening with Leicester? No one is talking about it.
Yeah. I thought they were going to do well this year, but the last few games, they've flattered to deceive.
Yeah. Well, Jamie Vardy is on fire. He scored so many goals, but one of them was an own goal, unfortunately for him. Stephen used this phrase, I have a soft spot for Brighton. So if you have a soft spot for someone, it's like you kind of like them. It's you like Brighton, yeah.
Yeah. They're not my favourite. They're not the greatest, but I like them. You're probably the same for you for West Ham at the moment. You probably have a soft spot for West Ham.
Absolutely, yeah, I do. I also have a soft spot for Brighton, but as in the city. So city itself, I really like the city. It's very nice, seaside, and very nice atmosphere, good people, and very liberal. I like the how liberal the city is as well.
Yeah, that's part of the reason that I like the club is I've had a few good nights out in Brighton.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right. Okay. Well, Noop, is there anything else we should add, or should we leave it there then for tonight?
I think we pretty much talked about how the Premier League has been working on so far. Yeah, that's that pretty much.
Yep.
And,
Well, thanks a lot, Stephen, for joining us once again. What's the name of your podcast?
English with Stephen. Stephen with PH.
Okay, I'll write it down actually here.
Excellent. It's all the episodes are short, 10 minutes. There's a transcript for people to read if they want it, and it's designed for students. I know it's not Premier League, but Thursday night it's the second semi-final, second leg of the semi-final for Copa Sudamericana. It's like the Europa League for South America. And Atletico are playing. If we win that, we get to the final. We won the first leg 2-1 away, so we're in a good position. That's what I'm looking forward to this week.
Did you also abolish that rule of the away goal? Or
in Sudamericana, they still have the away goals.
Right, the away goal rule, because it was what's the word I'm looking for?
It was
abolished,
repealed, taken out. Yeah,
taken out. Yeah, there's another one I can't remember. They removed this rule. That sounds weird. Anyway,
they changed it.
They changed the rule. Yeah, let's say change the rule. Okay, guys, that will be it for this week's football show. I hope you liked it, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all the usual, all the stuff that we always have to ask our viewers to do, because that helps the algorithm, and some more people might be able to see this if you actually do that. So thank you very much for watching this, and thank you, Stephen, for coming on the show today. Thank you, Noop, as well.
Not a problem. I'll try to come back in the future. It's been great.
Yeah. Well, so guys, take care, and let's see some more interesting matches this week then.
Looking forward for the game.
Me too.
Speak to you later.
Cheers, everyone. See you later.
Cheers,
Bye.
bye-bye.